We have another GM with a burner account. This is awesome. Tampa Bay Buccaneers general manager is allegedly linked by our friends at Dirty Sports, by the way, is allegedly linked. Yeah, the guys out in
Great guys.
that out in LA, they did all the homework. Exposed that a Twitter account that is linked to the same phone number as an account that the general manager had has been tweeting pro Jameis Winston tweets to people that are against Jameis Winston. And it turns out it's the general manager of the team with another burner. First, the Sixers guy who was going after one of his players had burner accounts to go after one of his players. Now, the Buccaneers GM has burner accounts to back one of his players. I think I like it.
Wrote an entire book about it, too.
What do you mean?
The burner account, the Jameis One of One, also wrote a 400-page book about how Jameis is a great quarterback.
Really?
It's on Amazon, yeah.
That is awesome that the GM is that ride or die for Jameis Winston. I would hope that my general manager, if I ever have one, is making burner accounts to go after the DA fans that hate my show. I would love that so much. But what are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? I mean, that is just such a childish thing to think of for a general manager who's trying to run a team to have to spend time making a mock account, making a troll account, and then scrolling, thinking of him scrolling through with like a fake picture, finding another account to go after him. Like, Jameis is good. The GM didn't make a bad decision when they drafted him. You made a bad decision because you don't like him. Like, that is just so petty that I have to respect it at the end.
It's a wild story. So he found out that one of the guys from Dirty Sports was tweeting bad about Jameis, and then this account replied back to him, and it went on, and then he started digging into this account after it blocked him, they invited the guy on the podcast, and he said he couldn't come because he doesn't do podcasts in person, but he will call in, blah, blah. So it ended up, long story short, he went and he figured out it might be Jason Light, the GM, and then he compared. So this burner account has gone on to do other interviews, like on other shows. So he pulled up the voice of the GM and the voice on this who's done other shows. It's very, very similar. It's like eerily similar how they talk. And
this dude's doing interviews as a troll account?
Yes.
Awesome. Next level, this guy. That is incredible. Andy Ruther and Joe Prano, I believe. If I get that name wrong, it's Joe and Andy. I apologize if I got it wrong. I was on Dirty Sports. They are a legendary duo of humans right there. They had me on their couch. We went live on YouTube. Hilarious setup. And the thought that I would assume this was Andy that did this, Andy Ruther.
The one with the mustache is the one that did it.
Oh, so it's Joe. Never mind. It's Joe. Just thinking that he's tweeting about Jameis and somebody is so passionately defending Jameis, he's like, wait a minute, this seems a little weird. And does an entire investigation, an IT investigation, to find out that it's the GM's burner account. I love it. I love both sides of this. I like the GM having enough courage and gut sack to go and do interviews as a burner account. By the way, people that are asking a burner account or in a Twitter account in general with no pool to do interviews, incredibly well done by the burner account to become that notable that people want to do interviews with you. And then to just not even modulate the voice at all, just to go ahead and let that thing eat. Absolutely beautiful. And by the way, if you have a good mustache, probably have a good brain. You have a good brain, you start piecing some things together. You're like, wait a minute, this sounds a lot like this guy. Bang, bang, IP addresses, IT addresses, all that stuff. Absolutely hysterical. I wonder if Bruce Arians has any idea that this is happening over his head.
And then the burner account always takes like 5 hours off during the games and never tweets during the games or anything like that.
Everybody knows you got to have a good cover up. Hey, I watched Dateline just a couple times, Todd. What's that thing? The story,
alibi.
You got to have an alibi. That guy's at least got to have somebody like his wife or somebody send out a tweet during the game.
Absolutely.
You know
got to have a cover story.
Got to have a cover story. So just quit during game days, not tweeting during your own press conferences. I mean,
you would think a Jameis fan account would tweet during the games.
Oh, yeah. Look how good Jameis is. No, it's too focused on the game.
Yep.
He has too much emotional energy in Jameis Winston. He doesn't have time to tweet about it. I love this. I hope this continues to happen.
I just don't understand. Obviously you get it if the guy's going to bash him, but why not just do it from your personal account if you're going to praise him? Is it just because the public scrutiny you'll face from it? Hey, he stinks.
Let's just let it be known. Nobody with a good team is going to have this happen.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
If your GM is worried about creating accounts to tweet against people. Your team stinks to begin with. And I almost respect the fact that the GM's like, well, we stink. At least I can have a little bit of fun here in this thing. I wonder if he has like a fantasy football team and he just drafts the entire Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Goes into like an ESPN fantasy league. That guy stinks. I mean, this is going to stick with him forever, obviously.
Yeah.
You can't be a general manager that has burner accounts and stink. Now, if Belichick has a burner account to go after people, now we're talking legendary stuff. This is not something I'd assume Chris Ballard would do, who's turning out to be a great GM. Anybody that's worth a single damn or worth the laundry detergent that they waste in the facility wouldn't do this. But I enjoy the fact that there's people that stink that have the time to do this, because this is a great story in sports lexicon. I mean, this is incredible stuff to hear at the highest level. The NFL is the highest level, the highest job you could potentially get. NFL general manager. Acting like a 13-year-old.
The account's pinned tweet is its book to buy for $18.99 on Amazon. Jameis Winston.
This dude wrote an entire book as a burner account. This dude's doing interviews as a burner account.
Dedication.
And running a team. Into the ground.
He's got 2,000 followers as his burner account.
You know what? If he wasn't tweeting so much, maybe they would have been able to make some trades yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe they got that team worth a damn.
The Twitter bio is how the media causes us to overlook the start of a Hall of Fame NFL career.
Hilarious. Wow. I absolutely love that he's all in on Jameis. Jameis has to hear this, though, and be like, my God. His agent's like, let's negotiate that new deal here before you get canned for this. You know, let's get some money in my pocket before we get out of here so I don't have to steal crab legs forever. You know what I mean? Jameis probably a good guy if you meet him. I don't know. I saw him eat a W.
Yeah.
I've seen him do a lot of things. Bruce Arians took the job strictly because of him, though. He said he liked him as a kid. That's interesting to me. And if this guy's willing to sacrifice it all, write an entire book under a cover name for him, that's real love. I mean,
Bruce might quit the job strictly because of him, too.
What's that?
So Bruce might quit the job strictly because of him, too.
Imagine Bruce Arians being like, what have I got myself into here? What are we doing? The guy that's running this team is tweeting from a fake account, writing books from a fake account. That's the next level, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Tweets are 280 characters at a time. To go chapters as a burner account, this guy's legendary.
400 pages.
I believe so, yeah.
12-inch font, double spaced. Is it bold?
Have to.
Jeez.